The chase continues. The Easter egg hunt continues across the galaxy. Welcome back. This is Sean's Take. My name is Sean Redman. Today my take is on Discovery Season 5, Episode 2, entitled Under the Twin Moons. This is your spoiler warning. After this, I'll assume you've either seen the episode or don't care if I spoil it. I will also use clips from the show as is allowed under the fair use provision of the copyright laws of 1976. Let's dig in. So we start with some repercussions from the previous episode, which is rare in an episodic television show, but in this season of Discovery, we seem to have an arc of a story. I don't know if this story is going to run us all the way to the end of the season, or if it's just going to be part of the season. But so we're at a tribunal where Captain Rayner of the Antares is answering for his firing the photon torpedo into the mountain that caused the avalanche. Didn't cause the avalanche, closed the tunnel, but inspired Maul and Lack to torpedo the mountain and cause the avalanche. And to her credit, Captain Burnham answers politically that they were working as a team and, everything went the way they meant it to. When pressed, and even Rayner says, it's not what you said in the field. You didn't support me in the field, and that she should tell the truth. And she does. She says, no, I did disagree with him. I think he was wrong. I think it was dangerous. And that's why the Federation is dealing with the political repercussions that it is, because he was too reckless. Rayner is reassigned to Discovery and removed from his command quietly. So after learning more about the diary and the sketches, Burnham does pinpoint where they think they need to intercept Maul and Locke. For his continued support, Vance clears Cleveland Booker, known as Book, to continue on the Discovery and not return to his rehabilitation facility, ramification from last season. On the surface of the planet with the locked twin moons, Saru and Burnham are together on a beautiful planet, very serene. And then they come across some skeletons, previous grave robbers who were unsuccessful. And then the defense mechanisms of the planet kick in, and Saru and Burnham are, back to back, shoulder to shoulder, fighting their way through the defenses. We do find out through their conversation that Burnham knows that this is Saru's last mission on Discovery. He will be resigning to take the ambassadorship and spend more time near his partner, Trina. So they do successfully destroy some of the drones. More come. They figure out how to stop the defenses without getting into too much detail. The nanotechnology in Discovery is a little whatever we want it to be, I guess, because they just sort of hold their hand out and the phaser appears. And then when you need it to, you can have the phaser turn into a phaser rifle. And so Burnham uses their two sets of phasers. Takes Saru's phaser and her phaser, set them to overload and create an EM pulse, throw it into the main statue that is, running the defense, leaving Saru defenseless. So he has to use his built-in spike things, which he does successfully until they actually create the EM pulse, knocking out the defenses, and then they're ready to go. However, they just go like that and get a new phaser. So that we don't know why Saru didn't just go like that and get a new phaser. Anyway, so they get to the obelisk. I'm not sure of the term. And they read. Well, they don't read right away. It's been phasered clean. They discover how to see what was phasered off, and they read the obelisk. And then they have to move the obelisk to finish reading because they know that there's 5, stanzas or whatever you want to call them, and there's only 4 things. So they move the obelisk, get the last stanza, and put the obelisk back. As the obelisk was moved, though, to reveal the 5th stanza, there was a recess and a thing that she grabs. We see her take it, and then they put the obelisk back. And they return to the ship, and the 5 pieces, the stanzas of the puzzle, lead them to their next stop, which Adria realizes is their home planet of Trill, which is also, Jedzia Dax, if you're a DS9 fan. So they're going to head to Trill in the next episode, I assume. So the tribunal does find Rayner guilty. They not only vote to maintain his removal from the Antares, but they move to pressure him to retire from Starfleet. And with Saru officially stepping down from his position on Discovery, Burnham offers the vacant role to Rayner, which is a surprise move because they seem to grate on each other. Burnham has matured enough to understand that that's exactly what she needs. A different perspective and a voice that's not afraid to speak to her. Not to mention, she's giving Rayner a second chance in Starfleet, just like she got. She made the most of hers, although it cost her 900 years. So Book determines that Maul is from Quijan, let me know how you say it, and related to his mentor, making them the last known survivors of that planet. So he has personal reasons to find her now. I don't know if I mentioned it already. My notes are a little scattered. But when Saru told Trina that he thought her logic was faulty and that their relationship does matter and it is a factor and he is resigning from Discovery and taking the ambassadorship, she says, I wonder if we should codify our relationship in a more formal manner. To which Saru says, are you asking me to marry you? And we never get to hear the answer. But I think there's going to be wedding bells, which is kind of fun. And we did have that moment, I think, in the first episode, I forgot to mention, where they're dancing at the party. And she says, you obviously have something you need to say. Are you going to tell me? Or do I have to mind meld to get it out of you? Which is a funny joke. It's a Vulcan joke. And it is true. And we often lose track of the fact that Vulcans are not emotionless. They control their emotion. They are the masters of their emotions. Doesn't mean they don't have them. So that's fun. And I guess the character of Saru will continue, just won't be on board Discovery. So as this hunt for this technology continues throughout the season, hopefully we'll still see Saru. But you never know when shows are canceled and other opportunities arise. A lot of times characters are written out so that they can go start their next gig. I did hear a complete side note, whole different topic. I saw Katie Sackhoff, who was Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica, talking about the fact that, when you sign on to do a show, you used to sign on to do a season, which was 18 to 24 episodes, and now a season is 8 episodes. But it's still true that you are, from the time you walk off the set, you are under contract and can be called back at any time over the next 18 months, either for a new season or for reshoots. So during those 18 months, nobody else is going to hire you because they could lose you to that show. So, and the point Katie was making was you used to work for almost an entire year, and then you wouldn't work for a year or 6 months until they decided what they were going to do, and then you'd find out. So her point was she doesn't have health care every other year. Because to get health care through the actors union, you have to make a certain amount of money in the year from union gigs. So when you make an 8-episode season of The Mandalorian, and then you can't work for 18 months, well, those 12 months in there, you didn't make enough money. Nobody paid you. So she loses her health care. Then she makes another episode and she gets her coverage back. It's a really strange way to live. And this is the new agreement. This is after the strike. Very strange. So anyway, I mentioned about let me find their name. So I had mentioned Tig Notaro, who is the actor that plays Jet Reno. Jet Reno is the chief engineer on Discovery. We didn't see that character in episode 1 or here in episode 2, but that actor, Tig, showed up on the morning show with Reese Witherspoon and Billy Crudup. And I was just wondering if they had transitioned to that show and aren't going to be here anymore. Although, in looking up the name Jet Reno, I see that they are going to be in at least a few episodes this season. So that'll be good to have Chief Reno back. So that's it. We're gonna get Saru married. We're off on a personal hunt for Book. So far, two episodes in, Discovery season 5 is going pretty good, especially for Discovery. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video if you like the video. Subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And, comment. Let us know. Let's have a conversation. All right. That's it for now. I'm Sean. This is Sean's Take. See you next time.